Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good. Oh, I can't do the Zoom anymore.
Oh, you can't do the. Oh, it's because. It's because I got this camera on.
Hold on. Good. Animorning.
Here, let me.
How's everyone doing?
Let me do this. Here you go. Now you got zoomies.
Animorning. How's everybody doing? It's an Animorning challenge today. Fly, stamps, fly. Time to look at some Animorning challenges. We only have a short amount of time this morning because Doigles has a meeting at 9:30.
I don't strictly have to go to it. If we feel like we're not at a good point to leave off, so.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Okay.
And it's currently 8:10 right now.
Yeah.
But let's take a second to just say, hey everyone, good morning.
Hello.
How's it going?
Also, thank you for submitting to our challenge.
Yeah, thanks everyone submitting to the challenge. We've got 9 entries. Wahoo! We're probably going to have to look at them over 2 days, today and tomorrow, if that's okay.
If we did 10 minutes per entry, then that would be 90 minutes, and that'd be okay.
Oh my gosh, can I do that?
Can you do that?
Do you want to get a timer up and see if we can?
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh.
And then
I don't want to compromise the feedback though. Like if I need more than 10 minutes, I don't want to. Because you handed yours in less than 6 hours ago. What time is it for you, Kozak? You did get some sleep, right?
Why would you do that?
Anne-Marie says it is possible to do mine soon since it's late here. Yeah, we can do yours first if you want. I see here that we have a Kiryu, which means I know that Onster has entered the challenge. Yeah!
Oh god, your control.
Am I changing things around? Does this help? Woo! How's that? Okay, I'll stop for a sec.
Trying to set up the timer. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Stopping for a sec.
Fine.
Stay very still.
Have to click off of it. Right. Okay, we're good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Pablo, you haven't finished yours. Oh, no worries. You can always finish it in your own time. And then...
Did you submit it, Pablo?
And then if you want a sneaky critique, you can just send it to me privately and I will give you a sneaky critique. Since you are a mod and help us out so much all the time anyway.
Look, I fixed it. It only fires one now.
Kozak, it's 4 a.m. Why are you awake, Kozak? Oh, what gives? Why are you up? You're not up just for this, are you?
No, it's not 4 a.m. now. It's 9:15 for Kurzak now, but she was up till 4 a.m.
Finishing it?
Finishing it.
Oh my gosh, Kozak. Oh my gosh. That's incredible. Wow. Wow.
But have you slept since 4 a.m.? Because otherwise, how would you know that the stream was starting now? Are we your alarm clock? What, do you get the little stream notification? It's like ding dong.
That'd be amazing. If you could set a stream to be like, when this starts, set off my really annoying alarm.
Merch idea.
What, alarm clock?
Yeah, a Dog and Swift alarm clock.
And it just looks like this. Bah!
How neat would that be? We need to go into business, India. We're too cute not to make money from cute merch. I know, I'm excited too.
Yeah, the alarm clock would totally be the crowbell noise. That'd be amazing.
Get the fuck out of bed!
Get the fuck out of bed. I'm also tired. I didn't get much sleep.
I snored. I kept her awake. I ended up on the couch.
Yeah. What time did you end up going to the couch?
4.
So I didn't get any sleep till like 4 a.m. either.
Pat.
Okay, Doig. Thank you for going and sleeping in the other room.
Okay.
I'm surprised that my constant kicks and pushes didn't keep you awake.
I was tired. When I came to bed, I was tired.
I was also tired when I came to bed.
We got up early yesterday. So I got tired.
Thank you for the quote ad, pal.
For like a good 10 to 20 minutes. Whoa!
Velocity, thank you so much for the prime sub.
When I came, Buffy, the cat that we live with, she was like, whoa, duvet! I love this duvet. And then she started like walking over me. And then she started needing me.
Weeb, thank you so much for the sub. 5 months strong.
5 months strong.
Sorry, Doug, I didn't want to interrupt you.
It's okay.
Please carry on.
Okay.
The cat, she came to your duvet.
Yeah, and then she was like, I think she was trying to find a place where she could where she could sleep, but I'm just all bones and elbows. So she was like walking across me trying to find a place. And then she'd walk up, and then because I'd left the drawer, you know, the big drawer where the duvet is kept open, she would just like walk. And I was like, this is cute. I'm gonna kill her.
Aw.
I'm gonna
Okay, I was
eat
just
her.
having some tea. I guess we should hop over.
Alright.
Let's do it.
You need
and
to...
I'll give you guys a new Animorning challenge as well at the end of today.
Yeah. You need to turn on your NDI. And you need to turn off region of interest.
Okay.
So you can get the full screen.
1 sec then. NDI is on. Or is it? It's acting a bit weird. Hold on. Is that working for you, Doig?
I don't know. I can't see it.
Okay. Give it a try.
Alright, well...
Weeb says my cat used to lay on my dad's chest while he was sleeping. It was cute until we remembered he was missing teeth and drooled all over my dad. Oh no. That is cute. What's NDI? It's a screen share application.
There we are.
So I pop it on, and it means that Doig can grab my screen as a source for OBS.
We got it. I just need to change it a little bit. Capture. Screen.
I see Kiryu in there. I saw Kiryu and I was like, I sense Onster's presence. Thank you for the Crowell. Crowell from Fox Music says, wake up! Grab a brush and put it on makeup. This is when they're feeling when they check up. Why you look at the photo table? Why you little husband at the table? I want you. I never know what he's saying in any of those. The Great Emerald's power allows me to sense Kiryu.
Okay, you're ready.
I don't know the lyrics at all.
You're good. You need to go to Anne-Marie's first.
Okay. And I'll wake up, grab a brush and put a little makeup. Something when the shake up. Why have you leave the kids up on the table?
I think it's the one that starts Jinx and Jinx.
Oh, so this is what you're animating Jinx for. Okay. Here we go. Doopity dippity doopity makeup. The protagonist, you got it.
And the timer goes.
And the time. Oh shit. Okay, here we go, guys. Enjoy. Ooh, nice.
That's cool.
So I'm getting sadness and then determination at the end, right? So let's have a look at the notes that Anne-Marie has put on for their own work. I feel like the head turning and shoulders could coordinate better, but I don't know what's wrong. Maybe the head should sink down? I'd try, but it's 2 a.m. Oh my god, Jinx Undertale? I like Sans with the little pigtails. He looks good. Okay, let's see.
They also said, why are her eyebrows so hard to track? Anyways, biggest struggle was getting myself to stop drilling over the character acting frames in Arcane and actually start animating. Actually, though, figuring out the process for transitioning from roughs to tying down was pretty hard because since it's so subtle, I feel like it have to be even tighter even in the rough stages. But I like how far I got with it and I had fun. Thanks so much, and hope to spend more time on this one.
Subtle animation is hard, for sure. Subtle animation is super hard. Let's see, there's a few things. One thing is, I like the way that we start looking down on her like this. I feel like the snap over here is maybe a little bit too fast. I can see you've got the hair on a different layer, so I'll just ignore that for now because you can make the hair follow later. I think the snap to here is a little bit fast. You might want to anticipate it more or ease in a little bit more to that. Because it feels like there's some nice subtlety happening at the beginning here with the easing, and then there's a sudden snap. So I think it might help to adjust that a bit. I can see what you mean with the shoulders too. It feels like the shoulders are bunching up, like she's inhaling almost. You know, like... And then it feels like here she lets it down, but the head stays in pretty much the same place all the way through. I think you want the head to accompany that. You'll probably want to offset the timing a little bit, but I think having the head sink down with the shoulders would help it to feel like everything is more connected in the body and the pose and the acting. So I think you had a good instinct about that. And then here at the end, where she starts to raise up her face again, I think there just needs to be a little more transition between not being able to see her chin or her mouth at all to being able to see her chin and her mouth. And for that, what I can suggest is Sketchfab is great for looking at 3D sculpts of people's faces and being able to get those really tricky angles. Because that's a really, like, you don't see this angle drawn a lot, which is one of the things I really like about this acting, is that you've started off with a pose that I don't see a lot, which is really cool. Because that's one of the things that Arcane does a lot, is it kind of goes for things that you don't often see in animation because it's ambitious like that. I like the ambition. As we get to this pose though, you see how the distance here between the brows and the bottom of the face is much closer to here. That says to me that we should be seeing more of the bottom of the face too, because it implies to me that the face is tilted up. Like if the brows aren't, like if I'm not seeing the top of the brows here, then it feels like we're no longer tilted at that angle. So I should be seeing more of this kind of thing. So I think you just want to be really conscious if you're going to do this angle of the distance between the brows and the cheeks, so you can maintain the angle in a convincing way. So what I would do is I'll put some little written notes here. Is I'd maybe antic here. I might antic in reverse if you're going to do a fast movement. So I might antic her face to the left before you go right. Or you could ease more. You could cushion more into this next pose. Like if you're going to snap that fast, your other option is also that you could show a little more follow through with the movement. So rather than it feeling like it stops pretty fast when it gets here, having a little more ease after that to follow through. But yeah, when the shoulders go down, I think this is a good instinct. And if it was me personally, though, you can do this however you want, because this is your piece, and we all have different ways that we act. Like, I swear you guys will be able to recognize India acting once you've seen, like, 3 scenes I've done. You'll be like, oh, I can see, like, she always likes to do this, and she always does that, and she always brings her head down when the shoulders go down. So it's very up to you. But what I would probably do is to offset head slightly behind shoulders in terms of the timing. I'll put after. And sink down. I swear, the people who have seen my boards at this point are like, here she comes with the eyebrows bunching together and the tense shoulders coming up. There she goes again. And then, which face angle? Keep eye on eyebrows cheek distance.
There may even be models from the show available. I know I've seen at least renders of them. It's really interesting to see just how much of the surface detail is painted, but it might help if you can actually get a 3D model of the character to spin around.
Yeah, let's actually just see. If we go to Sketchfab and we type in Arcane, there's Mel.
You get a lot of people making their own.
Oh,
I
look,
guess.
here we are. Here's a Jinx. There's a Jinx there too. That was pretty good. I'll do this one though. Let's just wait for it to load. Here's a Jinx that we have.
Pretty close.
So you can get like these nice angles here by looking at this. You can also, if I can find the right, there we are. If you press Alt and then drag, you can change the shadows, which can be super helpful if the shadows are either in a place which is really unhelpful and make it hard to see, or if you specifically want the shadows to be in a certain place, then it can help you with drawing them. But yeah, like stuff like this is really helpful to like getting different angles of faces. All those really tricky angles to draw, you know, where you can half see an eye and stuff. So yeah, I recommend Sketchfab. It's great. I use it all the time, like mainly for props and stuff, like, oh, I really need to draw a tractor and I have no clue what a tractor looks like. Oh well, here we go. I got a tractor now. So you can buy the 3D models, or you can just do what I do and just look at them for free and be like, I've got a shot from inside a tractor, so this is probably like what it would look like, right? Like how it's tried to reset on me. So this is what it would look like, right, if I was inside a tractor, you know? Window shopping, yeah. So it's great. What time am I on, Doig?
You got 16 seconds left.
16 seconds. Amazing acting. I love it. Great job. Love the ambition. Keep it up because you'll grow your skills really fast this way.
Who's up next?
Let's ping back to the beginning, shall we? Sorry, if there's gaps, it's because I'm just sipping tea. Actually, let's do Onsters, because Onster, it's like 4 a.m. for Onster. And I don't want you to have to stay up super late.
Okay.
Kira, you superstar, singing karaoke in a bar.
Monster says, let's bring this over here. Monster says, I used a new program for this challenge that I ended up really liking the interface of Pencil 2D. I also learned how to mess around with the camera for panning for the first time, which got a lot of messy in the Photoshop re-export. That was neat. I also tried to stick to 1 hour for this one. Ooh.
1
Kirio
hour?
might have been the best subject. He's very stoic, but the idea for this one seemed silly and fun. I'd love to push the furrow on his brows and his pout a bit. Also, bonus Majima in the back. Also, this animation is on 12s.
How the heck did you manage to do a 1 hour anim with putting Majima in the background as well, Onster? What the heck? I love your little stamp at the top. That's awesome. Really cute.
Okay, I'm gonna reset this because that took a bit of time. So okay, 10 minutes from now.
Okay, I'm gonna press play. Let's have a look at what Kiryu thinks of the letter. Behind you. It's Majima. I love this. Oh, this is cool. This is really cute. And also, like, well done on handling the scope in an hour. Holy crap. The acting at the beginning is really nice. I lost it a little bit at the end just because it was so fast. But I can totally see what you're going for. And I think that if the lines were a little bit darker, I'd totally be able to see it. There he is, Majima. So he notices he's there. Majima pounce. Majima pounce. I love it. Subtle acting, nice. Okay, let's see. What can I suggest here? Yeah, there are little things like I can see that you totally have, like, all you need to do here is erase the previous eyebrows. Because you've got that nice little eyebrow going on there where you're narrowing the eyes and narrowing the eyebrows. And here they are erased, and that's good. Looking good. See, so places like here, it's just like making the movement feel more convincing, essentially, just by making sure that you are, if you're moving up the mouth and the chin, everything that's kind of attached to that is moving up too. I also, again, this is a personal Swifty thing, but I really like exaggerating stuff like this by making things move that maybe wouldn't actually move. So let me show you what I mean. I'll start simple and we'll just move up. Okay. Yes, cool. We'll just move up the bottom of his lip here a little bit. And the beard. And then I really like your instinct here, Onster, in squashing the cheek a little bit. So as his chin goes up, his cheek squishes out. That's a great instinct. You're 100% correct. That's something that not many people do that has like a huge effect on the read of an expression. So yeah, here I would actually like, and this is really subtle stuff, so it's kind of tricky to do, but if you can nail it, then it's great. Just by a couple of pixels, I just squash like the nose up a little bit. And then just by a couple of pixels, I squash the jaw out a little bit. Even though it technically wouldn't. You know? But when someone clenches their teeth, you see like the muscles in their jaw go. And that's kind of what I try to imply. I try to imply the muscles, and I do stupid little things like I move the ear up by like 2 pixels. I'm like, oh, the ear might raise a little bit in a squishy kind of way. Which I don't think would actually happen, but...
Kind of like in 3D modeling when you get soft select and you move one part, but you have that kind of like radius of like tiny little incremental movements and in a kind of sphere around that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I might just bring his eyebrows down like just a real touch, really get that subtlety. Just like 1 pixel at the bottom and a pixel shaved off the top. I've been spoiled by Toon Boom where you can like move things around 1 pixel at a time, and now I do it to everything. Yeah, narrowing those eyes even more. And what squishes down also squishes to the side, always remember. So I might do that. Let me just put a hole in that. Add to current? No, add new sketch. Sorry, so this will hold until his expression changes again. So let me take it off there. There we go.
I noticed they've also added like copying and pasting feedback frames. That's useful to you.
Oh, that is useful to me. Thank you.
Yeah.
I got no I got no critique on Majima. Actually, you know what? You could probably overshoot it a little bit. Put a little overshoot on him here, with just like a frame. Overshoot. So then we have Kiryu noticing. It's nice, I think, when you do a take like a notice to snap up like this into the pose, because it makes it look like he's suddenly noticed. And then you're easing up into this, which is nice. And then for this, I think start Majima going into this pose before we start moving and panning the camera. So start Majima. I'm gonna call it a stalk. Start Majima stalk before pan. Just so that we're not tying those two movements together as much, because the movement's getting lost a little bit in the pan. Like, it's hard to tell that he's getting closer, because there's a big camera movement happening at the same time. But if you start that before and offset those two things, offset the big camera movement with the big movement, then it's easier for the viewer's eyes to clock them as two separate things. It's like when you do a really subtle animation. Like, for example, in the Magic Boys opening, I have a boil on all the stickers where the line art boils in a really nice subtle way. I put this boil on every single sticker. I drew every single sticker twice to put this boil on them. And then I put a tween on them to move them across the screen, and you do not see the boil at all because it gets lost in the larger camera movement. And I should have known, because I should have practiced at this kind of stuff. And yet, love this so much. And then the last little note I have for you is get some of this acting, I think, into not just the expression, but the body as well. So having his shoulders maybe tense a little, or having his head come down a little bit. Like, you could either have his head raised up like he's just finished reading and he's pulling his head back as he's thinking about it. Or you could have him leaning in a bit more like he's like, what? At the piece of paper. I think getting some movement into his head is going to really help to sell this. Like you have here at the end where he brings his head up. Ah! I love this expression so much. This rocks, Monster. Let me add this in. I'm gonna put a soul up here. Have subtle body acting to accompany facial animation. I should have just put expressions, but you know what I mean. It looks like you actually might have tried to do an overshoot here, but that is just like your frames are tied together, like you don't have them on two separate layers, so you can't offset their animations without having to start a new frame. There's a really cool animation software I can recommend called Krita. I don't know if you did this on a tablet. If you did this on a tablet, I don't think Krita is available for tablets, but if you did it on a computer, then Krita is great. And I recommend it. It's free and it's awesome. And it lets you do animation layers. Beautiful drawings though. Majima. Yeah, this is awesome. This is a nice anticipation for Majima as well. I want him to spring up into action just a little bit sooner.
30 seconds left.
You downloaded Krita and opened it up and the animations up intimidated the heck out of me. Gotta try and find some tutorials. Yeah, I do. It's definitely worth it. Mike and I have used it for a little bit and it's really good. Awesome job, Monster. Thank you so much for taking part in the Animorning challenge.
Thank you.
Dane. I don't know the rest of the words. Da 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 da. Did I get it right? Is that the Yakuza song? I only know it from being in Onster streams. That's the only reason I even know the beginning of it.
Who's up next, 50?
Who's up next? Let's ping back to the beginning. We've playing Bakamitai for 20 hours. That's it. So this is Titan Roboduck. You want to read what they have to say before we dive into it this time?
They learned that Blender has a lot of render options, some of which will destroy the final result. Okay.
Oh, uh-oh. That doesn't sound like it was very good for you. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, let's see. I'm going to hit play. Ooh. Nice choices of framing here. Really like the framing. Having the hand kind of shaking. That's the word. Shaking as they hold the piece of paper. And then having the tears splatter on is real nice. I can give you a little bit of feedback on the tears, which I think they're working nicely, but there's a couple of things to keep in mind that will help them read a bit clearer. So the fact that you're using this kind of dark semi-transparent for both the tears falling and for the tears hitting threw me off a little bit, because it almost looks like there's just a stain that's shrinking and growing on the paper itself. Because I expect when it hits for it to darken the paper a little bit. So that made sense. With the tear falling, I think if you use an actual filled object for that instead. Like, let me just increase my brush size here. Let's just make them white. There we go. And I think this will read more as a tear. I just realised that I've obscured the animation beneath for myself. Hold on. Okay, so that's when it changes. 93. There we go. Where's my tool? There it is. And then this. And then that. Whoops. Then I think that will read a lot clearer. Also, don't be afraid to start that even earlier. Really have like little. I need to move it up a little bit. Get there. Replace, please. Oh no, I've done something very odd. Let me just press trash on that and then draw it again. Da-da-da-da. And then here, when it hits, one of the things you could do, which would be really nice and add some subtlety to it, is have that expand slightly. So water, when it hits paper, because paper is absorbent, that's the reason why we see the paper darken in the first place.
Oh.
But that means that you could have the water kind of spread out as it bleeds into it a little bit, which would be like a really nice sort of thing to have. And I think it would go well with the subtext of the scene too.
Yeah, I like that. That's really good. Baba Neeb says this is where I'd make myself cry on paper for reference.
Yeah. Why don't you just cry over it? I have. yeah. You'd want it a bit more subtle than this. It's pretty difficult to make it subtle in this program. But really, like, that last one should just be like a couple of pixels out, so it like eases in. And then I'd say do the same with the other tier, which is, let me put a little note on here. Differentiate he is falling from tears. Having hit paper. With colour and line. There we go. The only thing I'd say with this one is it's a shame that we don't get much actual facial acting in this. I do really like the body language, but I would love to have seen some facial acting. And this is another thing where I do a Swiftism on this. So you have the hands shaking as they're looking at the paper, and the hands are shaking here as the head lowers. I would have here, instead of the hands just being still, I'd have the hands like scrunch in and hold the paper tighter to get some of that acting. So I'd be like, oh no, I've ruined everything. Yeah, I'd really like get that they were scrunching that in and holding it. In fact, in terms of what's the word? Not consistency. When something goes from scene to scene in a reliable way. The word.
Continuity?
Continuity, thank you. In terms of continuity, the head lowers a bit here. And this is not something you would normally need to worry about. Like, this is the kind of thing you would hear people who are like pausing smear frames and critiquing them for no reason say. But I think in this case it will help you. If they were to start crying here, the tears would not hit the paper because it's so far away. I think you can use this to your advantage to get in there a really nice acting pose where they put the head down, and then maybe instead of cutting straight to this, you can get into some more acting where they like actually hunch over and do a back reversal and bring this piece of paper into the heart a little bit more. And you can have the hands start to scrunch there.
Yeah, bringing those shoulders up as well.
Done the head a little small.
We got 1 minute left.
Done the head a little small, but you get the idea. The idea being that to bring that body acting and that head in to both show why the tears will be hitting the paper, but also milk more of the acting.
Milk that acting like the coward is.
Yeah, and get more facial animation in there. Do a little reversal where they bring the paper into their chest a little bit more. Or something. I think maybe I had them crouched down a little bit too much. But since I don't have a ton of time, I would just put the note, bring paper to heart. Show expression. And get in position. The next shot. Crying equals bad posture. You have been warned. Yeah, I think this pose definitely could be improved, but hopefully the feedback itself was helpful. All right, let's hop on to the next one. Great job, Titan RoboDuck. Love the creative compositions there.
Who's up next?
We got Martina.
Martina gave us a big old shrug.
What does that mean?
She's got like a, you know, it's just, okay, I'll type it into chat.
Yeah. All right, let's press play and have a look. Here we go. Oh, this is great. Oh, I love it. There's some great extroverted acting here that I really enjoy. Lovely poses, Martina.
Nice reversal on the emotions as well. So it's like worried, concerned, relief, happy.
Look at this. Little smear. Yay! Yeah, I'd say if just one thing I could give you that I think would really push this to the next level, it's just getting those little subtle overshoots and eases on the end of your action. Your spacing has come a really long way, Martina. It's so cool to see. Like, you're really starting to get it. So just here, we have this smear up into this frame. And because it's a smear, so it covers a large distance, and you get this nice little pop at the top, the like animation building my body expects this to be an overshoot that then settles back down. So it's like pop and then settles a little bit. So I'd say I'm gonna reduce my brush size a bit. I think I went a bit big on that last one. There we are. Treat this like an overshoot. Then spend a few frames settling into your key. Keep it subtle. Yeah, these look like it's great that you've labeled your key poses as well, so we can really see like where your keys are. These are great. But yeah, let me show you what I mean. Let me show you what I mean. So for this, approve. Oh, I changed it to approved. I approved it, Martina. I just have them just a little bit higher.
Yeah, I've forgotten how to add commands.
Here. Here.
I love that. I love doing that. I want to play more Breath of the Wild so I can say
Here.
more often. It's a thing I exclusively do when playing Zelda games.
Yeah.
Here.
especially when I'm falling down a mountainside because it's raining.
I'm just going via the back end. Sync.
So it's just a little bit of an overshoot. The neck would need to accompany that, of course. So what I might do is I might take advantage of opposing actions here. So I love the way you've got the head going up while the shoulders go down. That's opposing actions. So here, I probably not have the shoulder in their final position. So that as the head is easing down, your shoulders are easing up a little bit. This might actually affect... Oh, you could go really complex with it, Martina, make it really nice and like overlapped and subtle. You see, if the head is coming down and easing down, while the shoulders are easing up, you could do a really nice thing where you do a tiny little circle with this, because you see how this is going down? You could have this overshoot down and then come back up. Oh, geeking out. Oh, imagine all the different motions happening at once, Martina. How fun would that be, Martina? Do it. When you're doing animations like that, it's just a matter of kind of deciding what you want to do, planning what you want to do like I'm doing now, and then just like looking at one body part at a time and making sure it kind of feels like it relates to the whole. But just going through and being like, okay, now I'm going to do a pass on the hands, now I'm going to do a pass on the shoulders, now I'm going to do a pass on the head. But yeah, you could overshoot and then ease back in. Ease, it does it. That's good. I'm basically just trying to draw more or less like one to 2 pixels above what you currently have, just to keep it like super simple.
Let me make sure the music thing is working.
Oh yeah, so I'm not just singing like nothing. So then this would be
Eastern
slightly,
Plain on the wire.
This would be slightly underneath. Oh, I thought you meant check it was playing.
No.
So I'm not just singing into the void. I want to go... This song makes me want to go into the forest with a camper van, an iPad and some kind of charger, and just sit and animate by myself in the forest with a little fire. So, like, this is very rushed. There's something like this. So, you see, particularly on the head, you can kind of see what I mean. Where it's like we pop up and then there's just slightly settle down. I love to do stuff like when I do settles, where I delay the eyebrows by a couple of frames and have those like just pixel by pixel, like a few frames after, come back down into position. Like, I love having the head settle and then the eyebrows settle after, like, and have each large thing that settles then give way to a smaller thing that settles, that then gives way to a smaller thing that settles. It just like adds a really nice sense of overlap and stepping to your animation. Obviously I'm not going to do that now because I don't really have the tools to do it very well, but I can let you know about it. Nice anticipation. Might give the anticipation just like
a little more anticipation.
Yeah, like extend it by another couple of frames and have like an even more extreme version of this before we whip over. Nice to see you using smears as well. Remember to keep in mind the arc that this will be travelling in and have the smear go along that. And then another thing which is super helpful when it comes to stuff like acting like this is blinks. So what might be really nice is, because we see the head the direction that they're looking in change here from where they're kind of looking into the distance like, whoa, they're just staggered, to looking back at the paper. Have a little blink in here as they refocus. Where they're like, whoa, no way. You can also bring the head down a little bit and bring those shoulders up a little bit. And then, I mean, you could, if you wanted to, you could overshoot. If you wanted to, you could totally overshoot. Have the eyes like do a little pop.
Overshoots are a good way of exaggerating the movement into your next key.
Yeah, like overshoots are great for really energetic movements like this. That's why I'm using them heavily in this particular animation. Is because when you have an energetic movement like this one, like overshoots can add so much personality and energy to it.
I've seen boarders like Sheldon Vela and Kevin will use overshoots in their boards to sell the speed of the action. So they'll have really short frame count for a movement from one to the other, but they'll overshoot it so it's readable. Would you say that's right?
Yeah, I would. I haven't quite nailed the overshoot there. So I'm just gonna erase it because I think it's probably guiding you in the wrong direction. I'm gonna put overshoot here. OS. That stands for overshoot. Because you've got a nice little wave pattern going on here with the head. We go down and then upwards and then settle back. So it's like this kind of thing. But yeah, my overall note, Martina, is that I really like this. I think it's great. I think if you want to take it to the next level, just look at how to really like overshoot and follow through and ease when you pop into poses. So you don't like get to your destination frame and then you're just held there. So that there's a little bit more subtlety getting into them. And then one last tiny little extra thing, just so I think it will help overall, is to remember to draw through. So like on poses like this, think of like where the shoulders would be to avoid things like this, where it feels like the shoulders are a bit disconnected from the body. Like, so you can get those overlaps in a way that feels natural. And here, probably the shoulder would be a bit more like that. And you've got that nice center line going on. Great, and then, yeah, this is a great pose. What I sometimes do is, I'll basically just be like, yes, this is a line of my shoulders. This is a line of my hips. Nice contrapposto pose going on there. And there you go. Lovely work. Yeah. Okay, should we hop on to the next one? There's Divan.
Divan, okay. Divan says, I really struggled with form and character. I should have spent more time on it, but this is the best I got.
Oh. No worries. The important thing is that you did something. You participated, which is awesome. This is a very clean first frame. Jeez, oh. Alright, let's have a look. No, it's good. It's good, Divan. I see what you're going for here. Cool. I can definitely give you some feedback on this. I think that can help. So the main thing is just the head size, I think. Like, watch those proportions, because it feels like the head here is definitely smaller than the head here. And they're not going far enough back in space for that to shrink to that amount. You gave yourself away, you see, by drawing the table. Like, I can see that the table going off into the distance isn't tapering much, which says to me that you're not looking at this character through a very wide angle lens, which says to me there wouldn't be that much distortion going away from the camera. So the head shrinking that much when you go away feels a bit off. So what I'd probably do is I just like take this head and put this on a new layer. Or you could just paste it onto the same layers but then erase it afterwards. And yeah, put it on your other frames and use it as a size ref. I do this all the time with character sheets. That's kind of what character sheets are for. Right? You get the you get where everything is. And then when you come to these later frames, you can use it as size reference to make sure that you're keeping it the same size. And if you are in trouble, as it looks like you might be here, of the head going off screen slightly, do a nifty little cam move with it where you move the drawings down to imply that the camera is moving up to follow the movement. I'll just put here, watch head scale. Oop. Okay, now let me have a look at the acting itself. I like the ease you've got here. Nice ease. Since this is kind of like a pop frame almost, I might pop the eyebrows up here a little bit more so I can come down in the next poses. And also, you might not intend for your character to look at the letter, so please ignore me if you don't intend for your character to be looking at the letter. But if they are meant to be looking at the letter, then I just adjust their gaze a little bit more to make it a little bit lower, so they do look like they are looking at the letter. And then I just make everything like a little bit stretchier and bigger to pop that facial expression a little bit.
Yeah, because if they're opening their mouth, then their jaw is going to go down.
There we are. You see, so there's like now a little bit of difference between those two expressions that give it a little bit of life. I think this is a great moment where you could delay the shoulders as well. A lot of the time in animation, I'm thinking, oh, what can I do that will pay off later? And in terms of dropping the shoulders, what I'm thinking is that then I can have those shoulders come up at the end. So if I drop this shoulder now, then at the end, you just go. Then at the end here, we can get a little bit more life into it by having the shoulders come up. As the character settles into position. And then you can bring the focus back to the letter. You have the letter flap a little bit. Oh, this is actually one thing I forgot to mention on yours too, Martina, is be mindful of the fact that the letter material is paper. So try to animate it like it's paper. I think in yours, Martina, it felt a little bit thick, like cloth. And here in Divan's, it just feels like you could get a little bit more expression out of the fact that it's paper by having it like drag a little bit. Remember, it can flap. Remember, it's just a thin little piece of material. And then I really like the way that you have a head starting to come down here. I'd continue that into this pose. continue that movement that you've started. You say up, now pay it off. We can have those brows come down a little bit. This is a trick that I picked up from Wander Over Yonder that I use a lot. Again, it's a very Swifty thing, so you don't have to do it if it's not your style. But one thing that I find helps with eye direction is I tend to squash eyeballs up against the edge of the ball, the eyelids. So most people, if someone's looking down, they'll be like, here they are looking down. But what I like to do is to squash. It gives a more certain direction. And I do that all the time with everything. So a lot of the time my pupils aren't actually like round. I'll squish them like you can see here. It's a cartoony thing, so it doesn't work for every style. I don't know why I erased that. Let me try again. So I don't know if it'll work for every style, but for slightly more cartoony stuff or stylized stuff, like, it's great. It was in the style sheets for the characters of Wander Over Yonder, and I was like, that's genius! And I've been doing it ever since. It just gives a really clear direction.
Nice. Get that squish.
Yeah. And then again, I just continue that head movement coming down.
That's something you see in really kind of more advanced 3D animation rigs, is that squish and that bulge, that press against like the flesh of the top and the bottom of the eye. They build that in for like when the eye rotates. Mm-hmm. And like when you see it, you're like, oh, squishy.
It's like when you see someone with their eyes closed and you ask them to like look around while their eyes closed. And you can see the eyeball underneath the lid doing its thing, going around.
Very good.
You could move that more.
The displacement of mass to account for motion, the preservation of volume, all those subtle little things.
All the small things.
You have...
How much time do I have? Because I've bulked up the chin a little bit.
1.5 minutes left.
1.5 minutes? Oh, no problem. Okay. Da, da, da,
I'm going to take this opportunity to say that you have all our past review videos available on our VODs channel, and the playlist is available here. So if you like what you're seeing in this session, there's like a whole bunch of videos in there from past challenges, from the feedback. If you're interested in participating in any of the challenges now,
we normally go a little bit longer on the critiques, but today we are like a little bit rushed. So there we go. So the head is facing down just a little bit more. I'm just trying to pay off that head tilt that we started setting up here. I think I might need to make it a little bit more subtle. Well, you can do this. You can do this and make it look good. But yeah, things like keep that elbow going up a little bit. To just add like a little bit of flexibility. You know, you could have the hand actually rubbing the head a little bit. Just put a subtle motion on it. So we have the shoulder going up here. So just to finish paying that off. Yeah. All these little things just add to it feeling more flexible and more naturalistic. But yeah, think about stuff like that. So the paper, think about the overlap. I'm going to put a little list here. That's not how you spell paper. That's how you spell pepper. Paper material. And then think of the acting overlap. Particularly at the end when they're rocking kind of back in their chair. Think about how you can sell that a little bit more. You might need a few more frames to ease into some of the positions. But I think it's going to work really well overall because you've already got the building blocks in there. It already feels solid. Just adding like a layer of subtlety on top now and expanding it out a little bit more. I hope that is helpful. We'll hop on to Kurzak.
Let's do it.
Do it. What does Kurzak say?
Kurzak say, please bear with a super rough first pass. This definitely needs work on the construction, but since this was an acting challenge, I thought I'd try to focus a bit more on that with what little time I had. I actually wanted to end with a bigger reaction, but as I'm writing this, it's 3:34 a.m. on the 25th, and I need to sleep. I'd love to see if Swift has a shorthand for drawing hands holding onto stuff, like letters, books, etc. By the way, if I may make a bold request.
Yeah, I do definitely have a shorthand. Again, it's very Swifty though, so I don't know if you'll necessarily want to use it, but let's have a look at what you got.
Look at the little sad Kurzak in the corner.
There we go. And I won't give you any construction critique because I know that you are really good at constructing characters and I know that you can draw really consistently, so I'm not going to give you any critique in that because you, like, even if this isn't like your best in terms of how you feel about it, I know that you could totally make it that if you wanted to, so I won't waste my time giving you critique you don't need.
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh, so subtle and beautiful. Oh, this is great. Especially that first movement. Kurzak, the overlap on there is so subtle and wonderful. So you guys can see here exactly what I was talking about. So the whole body is responding to this. And we've got a very slight rotation on the head as well. It's a very slight one. And see, as the head starts to come down here, the shoulders are still going up because the head's coming forward. And the eyebrows are starting to go up as the head's coming down. And then the shoulders come down. And they come down faster than everything else. And the head is delayed. And then the head drags down with everything. And the head rotation happens here too. So all that overlap, it's just a bunch of very simple movements, but they're happening in such a way where they're all kind of overlapping and stacking on top of one another. Richard Williams would call it the whip. Richard Williams said that every single movement could be broken down to being the whip. I don't know if I agree with him. But you can see what he means in terms of this. Like, the movement here with the head is very whip-like, where you can see the body coming down first and then the head kind of following along. Lovely stuff. So thinking about that kind of stuff when you're animating just adds this other level and layer to your animation. I haven't got any critique in this first bit. Sorry, I think it's great. I also think this acting's really nice. To have the eye pop open, so look, nice anticipation here. Everything squish. I mean, I guess I could... you probably know this, Kurzak. Like, I could say you could squish the cheek in there a little bit, you know?
You could squish a lot of the face in there.
Yeah, you could squish... Since we're, like, anticipating here, you could squish the face in here to go along with the facial features squishing in. You know, I know the nose doesn't move, but again, it's a Swifty thing. I always make it move. It's cartilage, but cartilage has like slight give to it. And I always take advantage of that.
Whenever you like pull your eyebrows down, do they always sort of like go towards the center as well?
No, they don't.
Always.
They don't always. Or at least I don't draw them that they always, because I like bringing them together in certain moments.
Okay.
So if I do that automatically, I don't get the moments where
You really do it.
where my character's like, and then they go to like that instead. There's the little subtle things, you know? Yeah, I love the acting here. It's lovely. Opening up that one eye. Very relatable. And then look, the very subtle, slight micro movement here on the eye. Really nice. It's the kind of thing that programs like Toon Boom make it kind of easier to do. When Kurzak and I do stuff like that, I can guarantee that we're probably just grabbing a line and moving it rather than redrawing it, just to really keep the consistency. Because otherwise it can become a bit distracting if you're not able to like really nail down that line in exactly the right place. But that little subtle micro movement there shows us that they're still reading. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I was just saying, how would you feel about going until 10? For your own time?
I would really like to get to work earlier than that, but
Okay. We might have to split the critiques from today tomorrow then.
Yeah. But then we have them realizing that it's something good. Since they're realizing here, I might actually I like to put little clues. That's what I call them, which is a weird way to say it, that what they've read is good. In terms of thinking about the mental progression of this character, they're reading and then they realize, right, and they do a take. Like, they don't realize here, they've already read it here, and this is their brain processing it. But I would have just a slight bit of surprise register in anticipation of the anticipation here. You know, anticipate the anticipation, why not? And I would do that by just really subtly having the eye widen just a touch and the eyebrow go up just a touch. Just a tinier than I've done it here. I just don't have the tools to do super subtle stuff. But I just have like a tiny little indication, like 2 frames before the anticipation or 3 frames before the anticipation. And then this is lovely. The smile starts. Yeah! And the tear comes into the eye. Like, the thing that I would probably change would be having them blink a couple of times and the tears come up as they blink. You know, like when you want to read something but your eyes are making you cry and you're like, no eyes, I want to read it. So you're trying to blink the tears away or stop the tears from coming. So I'd add a few rapid blinks as the tears form.
Fast blinks can also communicate maybe like disbelief or like, what am I seeing?
Can I talk about one of my favourite things from Arcane?
Yeah.
Super fast. They do a lot of really fun stuff with the animation. One of the things they do that I don't see other people do enough that I really like and don't see very often is they do the half blink, where your brain registers it as a full blink, but what's actually happened is the character's been like, imagine there are 2 eyes. They don't actually blink between. They go into half blink.
Oh, okay.
It's really subtle and it's really organic and it's beautiful, and I wish I saw more of it, because it feels more like the eye flicks over then. Yeah, it's great stuff. It's lovely. It's beautifully subtle, and when you use it right, it's just like moi, chef's kiss, moi. Like, it's what you get when you really look at footage of people, real people, rather than just take the animation principles and slap them onto everything and be like, we have to blink. That's what Richard Williams said we should do.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Is there anything I can give you here in terms of actual critique? I think your paper feels a little stiff. Feels a little bit like cardboard.
There's a thing where Kurzik said, I didn't make it look like paper, my career is over.
Your career's over. I'm calling you out. You're cancelled, Kurzik. You didn't make it like paper.
Kurzik did ask about the shorthand for squishing paper,
Thank
so
you.
we'll probably end with that.
Thank you for the reminder. I completely forgot. So just having little things like this. Yeah, you can spread the paper back out when they come down, but it'll just make it feel like it's not a piece of card, because it's just at the minute the shape is so unyielding.
Kurzik just whampered.
Okay, so this is a great shorthand. I'm going to start off by saying this circle is a great shorthand. I'm not even joking. It's great. Like, it shows you where the hand is, and you can prove this up later on. But the way that I normally draw hands grabbing things, I go with blocks, and I always tend to make the block bigger where the index finger is. So I go with this, essentially. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5 fingers, which is, as we all know, the correct number of fingers for someone to have. Me. So, like, it's a lot of stuff like, I'll often separate out the index finger as well when I'm doing shorthands. Yeah, I'm one of those people, you know, who separate the index finger and the rest of the fingers, and always group together the 2 middle fingers. But yeah, when it's fists and stuff, it's often just this. Like, this kind of skewed box shape is what I use for most everything. It's my friend. You know, and then when I want to add subtlety to it, I'm like, divide up those fingies. Ta-da, subtlety. So that skewed box shape is what I use most. Like
That is time.
Thank you for telling me. Yeah. Okay, let's hop over onto...
No, that's 9:30.
That's 9:30.
So we're
There's
gonna
3
have
more.
We can either go for the next half hour and do them, or we start with them tomorrow.
I think we start with them tomorrow then.
Like, I already confirmed I don't have to be at today's meeting.
I know you did, but I have work that I need to do. It's not only you who must be at work.
Okay.
It's also I who must be at work. So our brave hero, Snowtwig, and Hinkapink. I hope it's okay for us to hit those tomorrow.
Artie Farty asked, they forgot to submit theirs, and they asked if they could put it in for tomorrow.
You forgot? How did you forget to submit?
I told them that no, they should be more punctual, and that they can learn a lesson from this. So it's up to you, Swifty.
I consider that a lesson learned. You can submit it.
That's not a lesson. If there's no punishment, then there's no lesson.
The threat of them not being able to submit it, I'm sure was enough for them to be like, oh. But yeah, you can submit it. I'm gonna give you guys the next challenge. Ula says that's no lesson. Listen, this is how I do lessons. This is my classroom.
Artie Farty, over the next 24 hours, there will be a 2-minute window where I open the form and then close it again.
Like, no. Don't make him waste his entire day just sitting looking at the browser. Don't do it.
Why not? It's wasted our time with his stupid request after the fact. I'll punish him.
Not wasting
You're not
anyone's
punishing him
time.
enough, so I need to allow him to submit it, but I make it really difficult.
Like,
Making my life difficult. I've already downloaded everything.
We're doing this for the good of the people.
We're doing this for
good of the
views.
people. No, we shut up. No, we're not.
We're doing this for views.
Oh my gosh. Speak for yourself. All right. I'm going to give you all the next morning challenge.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get the hell out of here. So I don't know if you guys remember, because I don't know how many of you were here for this challenge. But we did a challenge last year. I think it was called Small World.
Oh, yeah.
Where we gave you guys footage, or told you to find footage, and then of animals, and had you do a tiny rider, like run in and jump on them over the top of the footage. This is the inverse of that. I call it kaiju.
Kaiju.
We'll give you some footage of a city or a town, and we'll link that into the tweet where we announce this this challenge. Your mission and your challenge this week is take 3 hours and rough us out a huge creature walking through the landscape of the city, or doing whatever you want in the landscape of the city. The emphasis this week is going to be on scale, so weight and perspective. Like, you want that creature to look like it's in that city, and it's convincingly in that city, and you also want it to feel convincingly heavy.
I think that's awesome.
Big boy challenge. Big boy challenge.
Kaiju.
So yeah, that is this week's challenge.
Could even be a kaiju battle.
It could even be a kaiju battle, but you've got 3 hours, so you can choose how to spend it.
Hear that, Ula? New challenge.
You could always just get a mirror and split it down the middle, and then all you need to do is animate one attack, and they will simultaneously attack one another. I was like, why are you singling me out?
Because Ula came in and he was like, oh, I didn't know there was a challenge. So now you know.
Now you know.
Now you know. Why singling it?
Yeah. I mean, you can go over 3 hours if you want, but 3 hours is our guideline, like, for how long it should be.
Ula says, I still don't know.
Well, I can't help you then, Ula.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do. Something says, I won't forget this time. Awesome.
So remember, if you want to see past challenges and feedbacks from them, you can
then
check
get a
out...
time machine.
You can,
God.
No, you can check out the link I just posted. And that has the playlist for all the previous challenges. I think. Most of them.
I just saw the buff you in chat holding on to 2 hearts. And I love that.
I love
tiny arms.
I love every opportunity to punish someone. Yeah. For what feels like trivial stuff.
Doig likes the power. This is why Doig should never actually be in charge of anything. All right, we're going to go, because I'm going to go to work. I'm also going to go to the store and get breakfast.
Get me breakfast.
I will.
Yeah. yeah.
And if I do it now, I should be able to get to work for 10, which will be great.
Dab. We're gonna go raid pirate software. Dab. I can dance. So thank you very much, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed your time. And the 3 that will get reviews tomorrow will be at the start of the stream, in case it's late for you. So,
yes.
Good luck, and I'll go find that footage.
Cool.
May the rest of the day be filled with adventure.
Till next time, may the rest of your day be filled with...
They were gone. You missed it. They're gone. Bye-bye, VOD squad. You'll do it for the VOD. Do it for the VOD. Ready? May the rest...
of your day...
be filled...
with...
adventure.
Adventure.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.